The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Puff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh. Got my hustle on, no imitation of that. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heartthrob in my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too feeble and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty.
All right, welcome to the Listen to Earnest Speaking podcast. I'm your host, Ernest, EJ Christian, on a cloudy but about to be very cold Tuesday afternoon here in South Florida. On the line, of course, every week for his weekly appearance on the pod is our man Kyle F. and Nash, a.k.a. the student of the game. Kyle, what's up?
Hey, man, what's good? I hope Turkey Day was nice to you. Yeah, let's get in this, man.
Can I be honest real quick? I may have just talked about this before in the past, but I feel like turkey might be the most overrated dish of the entire Thanksgiving soiree.
Get out.
I mean, I don't dislike it.
No, I don't care if you're the host. Get out. No.
You're a turkey guy, aren't you?
I mean, I'm not the way you're saying. You're going to talk about the most overrated food on the table? No. Not when you're. See, listen. You lived in the Florida area, much like myself, which isn't really the South. But having done Thanksgiving many years in Louisiana, a state that's actually in the South. Yeah, I know. Florida's the furthest south, but yet it's not actually south. Trust me. Ask Southerners, they'll explain it for you. The punchline is, anybody who puts sweet potato on my Thanksgiving table and then wants to try to tell me that turkey is the most overrated food on the table, you're wrong, and you should feel bad, period. Your take is bad, and you should feel bad.
I think the problem with me is because, okay.
There's lots of problems with you, Ernest Julius Christian.
That is true. That is true. I think with me the problem especially is the fact that I come from a Caribbean family, so our Thanksgivings are a lot more lavish than the usual American family. In other words, there's a lot more options that we have. Like we go a lot more Caribbean based. Obviously,
sure.
Turkey does exist. I'm not saying turkey's not ever disqualified from the conversation. We had turkey. In fact, we had turkey this year. In fact, in my aunt's house, we had two turkeys. We had a regular turkey and a jerk turkey.
For a minute there, I thought you meant the one on the table and then Ernest Christian were the two turkeys.
What? No, but I think I'm spoiled because the food we have in my, not necessarily my immediate household with me and my wife, because we don't really cook as much as my other family does, but my mom and my mom's side of the family, my dad's side of the family, it's so much stuff. It's Caribbean, it's stewed chicken, it's jerk chicken, it's this chicken, it's ham.
Well, wait, listen, and that's I'm glad you took it there. Why has no one tried jerk turkey? You're going to tell me that wouldn't change your life?
Well, that's what I was saying. We had that this year. We had that at my aunt's house on Thursday. Jerk turkey.
So what the hell overrated? Help me here.
You know what it is, honestly? I don't like turkey in general. I do like okay. I don't like turkey, but I like Thanksgiving turkey. You get my drift? Like I'll eat Thanksgiving turkey. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, listen, man, I wish like hell I had my dude Tokyo Jameson here to weigh in on this as well.
He'll be on the podcast on Thursday actually. So I'll bring it up with him on Thursday. Yeah, I told you that Thursday.
I'm already excited.
I'm
already excited. Great. You'll have TJ on your podcast, but you won't come on with the two of us on dinner time. Okay. No, I see what you're trying to say.
Well, okay. I'm now speechless. No, I can't say another word about it. No, real talk. We do have to schedule something for me to go on that time, even if it's pre-recorded. You know what I mean? So, we'll make it happen soon. I promise.
We're off of Blog Talk. That's easier to happen. What I will say is, I think your statement about turkey being overrated is similar to the way I used to refer to Rusty Chamomile Wilson. It's not that overrated means bad. It just means not the centerpiece of my life. And I can respect that. I mean, listen, if you're spoiled enough to eat jerk turkey and then try and tell me that it's overrated, hey, listen, you live in a special world, and I hope that sometime I can sample that. That's all I'm saying.
Although Russell Wilson no longer is overrated, let's be clear. And I think you're pushing that campaign further than I am.
Oh, yeah, dude, please. Yeah, no, let's not be clear.
We saw
the audience at large.
And we saw Sunday. Reason why. Anyway, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Let's get some of the topics here. First things first. I've been saying this every week, and this thing continues to grow and grow and grow. This Texans 8-game winning streak is so weird. Beat the Titans last night on Monday Night Football. And yet I still can't bring myself to believe that they can compete with New England. They can compete with Kansas City. They can compete with even Pittsburgh, for that matter. Help me out here. Am I being too harsh on Houston, or is my feeling accurate?
Yeah, because first, your Patriots fanhood is already the problem here. They only lost to the Patriots by a touchdown in Week 1. So it's not like they were out of the game. It's not like they were dominated as Texas teams in the past have been. Hell, the game where Brady kicked an official during the playoff game, the Texans were only there and did not belong because they beat Connor Cook because Derek Carr got hurt for the Raiders back then. Back when they actually had a pass rush. But I digress. Jack Del Rio should have never been fired. I said it. Anyways.
Yep.
I said it back then too. It's not like I'm just jumping on anti-Gruden.
We discussed it before. Yep.
Yeah. Listen, first of all, I love something like this going on because it makes me look as smart as I was all along, even though I thought sure I had blown it picking the Texans the preseason like I did to win the division. They're going to do so in dominant fashion based on the performance of the teams around them. It's really interesting. But do I think they can compete with Kansas City? No, you're right. I don't think they're explosive enough. As much as Deshaun Watson has showed us that he is a credible starter, as awesome as DeAndre Hopkins is, they just don't have enough weapons. They have a bad defense, but not enough weapons. They have a good defense, rather. They may be able to score on Kansas City's bad defense, but they don't have enough weapons to be in a true shootout. Can they compete with the Steelers? The Steelers are so undisciplined. You're going to try to tell me that the Watt boys won't be up for that game, and it's going to come down to whose O-line stops the other Watt more so. Oh, bro, you have no idea how much I'd look forward to that. But overall, the Steelers aren't disciplined enough. I mean, we're going to get into it maybe later, but the point is their loss to the Broncos was due to a lack of discipline. You turned the ball over 4 times. You cannot win a football game that way. And as it stood, to your credit, they're good enough to still be competitive in the match in question. So,
yeah, by the way, I did pick Denver to win that game, for the record, last week. Well, not surprised there. But again.
Well, yeah, listen, don't be beating that drum. You need to be writing some Christmas cards to the Steelers offense for turning the ball over 30 times in the red zone.
It's ready in the mail. I'll send out Monday morning.
Oh, carry on.
No, but it's weird because this team started 0-3, and last loss against the New York Giants, who came to the game also winless as well. And we all thought Bill O'Brien's on the hot seat, and we certainly thought he might have lost his job even in season. And then they won 8 straight games. And look, I'm not saying they're not a good team. You know my affinity for Deshaun Watson. I think he's a great quarterback. Obviously, they have a really solid team. Obviously, I'm just trying to get to the point where can I trust Houston to win multiple playoff games? Can I trust them to go to New England and win in Foxborough, in January when it was nearly impossible to do pretty much? Can they do that? And that's what I'm still pushing. Okay, I give you Pittsburgh, undisciplined. I'm with you 100% there. But New England and Kansas City, I'm still on the fence, man. I don't know. I don't think I need to see more. I think I need to see it.
That's interesting. Well, I'll put it this way, and not that any of the points you said were wrong. Now that you've dialed back your "they get destroyed" concept against the Patriots a little bit, just with your word choice there. What I will say is,
I'm good at politics. I might see. I'm really good.
Yeah, and against a lesser man, you might have gotten away with it. But if I were a lesser man, I wouldn't be a guest on your show.
Anyways, iron sharpens iron. You know that.
I'm trying to tell you. And listen, I mean, iron sharpens iron. I don't know how the hell I'm sharpening you right now, but iron sharpens iron. Anyway,
pencil.
I have a reference on you today, Ernest Christian.
Yes.
Goodness gracious. When we meet, you're going to jump up square in the air. and punch me right in my 7'4" face.
I can't reach your face.
Anyway. It'd be like Punch Out on Nintendo, man. It'll be great.
Mike Tyson, love it.
Exactly. No, but where I am is, you say you don't trust Houston. I'm fairly certain I'm going to even speak on your behalf, and you're going to confirm it. I'm calling my shot right now. In a tougher conference even, you feel better about the Texans in the playoffs than you do the Carolina Panthers winning a playoff game.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just saying.
Absolutely. Right now, and in this moment, yeah, I do. But, I mean, that's for obvious reasons, though, too. Both teams are going opposite directions, obviously, you know. But at least with Cam, I've seen him, you know, win multiple playoff games and, you know, pull a shot of his ass. With Houston's more so, it's not that I don't trust Houston, it's that the teams that I am saying they need a challenge to make the next step, you know, New England's and KC the world. That's where I'm kind of pushing back on. That's all.
No, I'm confident. I'm confident that on general principle, even though they have more talent in a playoff game, I would pick the Steelers to beat themselves against the Houston team in the playoffs should that matchup occur, which it may very well.
Nice hedge, by the way. I like the hedge. You know, it is true. Nice hedge, though.
So,
just saying.
Anyways. Yeah, no, I ain't fronting on that.
All right. Looks like you know, and look, you and I have been discussing this for the last couple of weeks, and every week we figure, okay, maybe some things can change. You got Aaron Rodgers, of course, things can happen. After this Sunday, losing to Minnesota, I think it's over. I just don't see. First of all, I don't see, even with the schedule being lighter the last 5 weeks, I don't see it. I don't see it on the table. Number one, and furthermore, I just think this Rodgers McCarthy thing is over. The marriage it's stale. It's done. I mean, the optics look bad, and it's a matter of when at this point.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, no, listen, I'm glad you finally arrived at this party. I'm going to have to offer you some cake because we're out of chicken wings. That's how late you are.
Wait, I was on the bandwagon 2 weeks ago. I said after the San Francisco win that this thing could be over.
I don't know. And listen, I joke about you being late, but I think it was a month ago at least that we said on this podcast that the Packers are not making the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
But you still have to kind of – the only reason why I still sort of like kept a little 1% out there was because who's their quarterback? And, you know, but the NFC is tougher this year. Well, actually it's tougher, but it's not tougher in the way what we thought. I'm not stunned at what's happening with the Packers because, again, this is a team that continues to undersell, underwhelm with their offseason acquisitions, not putting enough talent on Aaron Rodgers. And look, I'm not saying Rodgers is not devoid of blame. He does get blamed for some of the things that happen here. But they ain't going to fire him. Mike McCarthy is the first to go.
Let's analyze something. You know, maybe there's been – I think there's somewhere in the middle on this. Maybe, maybe we've given Mike McCarthy too much praise, and B, maybe we're not giving enough praise to new coaches in that division, right? I mean, before, he's coaching against Jim Bob Cooter, Jim Schwartz, who else was it? I forget who preceded Mike Zimmer, but obviously not a great coach in Minnesota.
I know you had Brad Childress one point. I know you had
oh yeah, right, Chili Pepper there, Mastermind. Sure, okay, yeah, he's wonderful. Nice. And then the guy who preceded Maggie, John Fox, is a good coach. He just couldn't get anything out of these guys. And then I forget the guy that was before him, but the old NFL coach that was
Mark Trestman.
Coaching. Yeah, Trestman. There you go. There was a winner.
Jeez, boy.
Gage, I think he's a good coach. I think he's just a victim of his surrounding in both Chicago and Miami, with a quarterback that's just good enough to be a coach killer in both Tannehill and Cutler. Ironically, playing with Cutler in both places, but that's a whole other topic. So now that you have McCarthy competing against Mike Zimmer, competing against excuse me, Matt Nagy, who's my coach of the year, and it's not close right now. Except maybe Pete Carroll should get some conversation in there too. Throwing that out there. You know, that's a good division, and the one that's struggling the most is a guy with a first time head coach, period, who's never coached anywhere out from under Bill Belichick's robe. So, you know, in Matt Patricia.
Yeah. Now, to be fair to McCarthy as well too. this is less about him not being a good coach and more about him being stale. And I think he'll be a sought after coach once he's fired.
Right, exactly.
He'll be very sought after. There'll be a lot of teams who, maybe the Jets, if they fire Bowles, I think they will fire Bowles. Tampa. I mean, Baltimore's on hold for now because they're winning some games now.
Miami's
they're
going to fire Gase, kid.
You think so?
Absolutely. And it shouldn't be, but they're going to fire Gase.
This is on a list of things to come. We can discuss it right now if you want to. We can discuss it right now. Let's do it. You want to get into it because...
Oh, sure, yeah. And he's going to be the fall guy from all the injuries that have taken place in the past 2 seasons, especially on the offensive line.
Because you also covered the Miami Dolphins as well for USA Today's Dolphins Wire. And the logic here is, for weeks we've been hearing, is that it's more likely that Tannehill will not return to the team, and Adam Gase will be able to pick his own quarterback. You think the opposite now?
I think it's going to be an element of both. I mean, there's a lot of money tied to Tannehill, so they're going to part with him. And it's always good if you're going to part with a coach or a quarterback. It's usually a good idea to do it both at the same time so that the new coach can pick his guy, and you aren't committed to giving another, a pass, on a year. You can make a decision quicker on whether that coach is the right fit in there as well, right?
Right.
So, I mean,
tell you what, though, Adam Gase did help his case, though, late in that fourth quarter against Indy. He lost that game.
Yeah. I mean, listen, when you have 2 receivers on IR, got some others banged up, and your go-to is as good a receiver as he is. Amendola being your top choice at some point ain't the best scenario, And they're all Dolphins fans are pissed off that he ran it on 3 and 10. I probably wouldn't have preferred that call, but when your best guys with the football are in your backfield, what else are you supposed to do?
Well, I know what I don't want to do is put the ball back in Andrew Luck's hands. The quite possible MVP if Drew Brees somehow tails off the next couple of weeks. That's what I know, is I don't want the ball in that guy's hands.
Okay, sure, but then the correct answer, if you want to get on anyone's case, get on the case of the players who allowed 3 and 10 to happen.
Agreed. Again, I just don't look. You think they'll fire Gase? I don't think they will. I think they'll go Tannehill, let Gase choose his quarterback. But like I said, if there's a case we made for Gase to be gone, that case was made on Sunday. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Well, that's more of a case to get rid of Coach Burke as the defensive coordinator.
All right. Well, I don't know. This is definitely going to be a interesting storyline. Because I say what, if the Dolphins fall apart in these last 5 weeks, then I definitely buy the Gase getting fired. That sure. I will say, and maybe the whole entire thing. Maybe Tannenbaum also. The whole thing. The whole shebang.
We'll see.
We'll see about that. Speaking of the Colts, Andrew Luck's MVP campaign launched last week on this podcast with you and I. It continues this week. He was phenomenal this week. I mean, shaking the first half, of course, but made plays when needed to, and of course the fourth quarter when the game's on the line, made the plays needed to. And again, and now all of a sudden now, as you call it, all of a sudden the mainstream media is getting on the bandwagon of Andrew Luck MVP campaign. Like, dude, you're like 2 weeks late.
They are?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything. I mean, good for you that
NBC started doing it. You. Fox started doing it now. A couple of other analysts. I'm like, okay, well, no offense to you guys, but Kyle and I have been discussing this for a week or two now.
Hey, be a good host, EJ. Offer them some cake, even though the chicken wings are all gone.
Cake's stale, dude. Sorry, I'm about to throw it away. The Sugar Rant's in the house now.
Damn!
Sugar Rant's in the house, dude.
Hey, well, I mean, we're talking ESPN. Stale cake is perfect to feed them. Hi-yo!
And I get it. I mean, the Mahomes thing is real. The Breeze things. He's having a freaking historical season this year, so that's real. It's easy to forget about Andrew Luck, but again, this is the same media that forgot about Andrew Luck coming into the year when you and I discussed this about the storyline of why aren't people talking about Andrew Luck's comeback. So
yeah,
it's par for the course.
And don't get me Wilson being forgotten in 2017.
You know who didn't forget? We didn't forget. It's a damn shame.
Yeah, we didn't forget.
We didn't forget.
I mean, you didn't vote for Russell, but you didn't forget.
Stop it. Don't do that.
That's true.
I still stand by my my reasoning what I did last year. So be quiet.
And listen, it's your show. You can be as wrong as you want. That's allowed.
Hey. Enjoy the cake, please. Enjoy the cake. Stop complaining. I will say this, though. One team that is starting to intrigue me a little bit now, these last couple weeks now, and I'm not saying they're going to get in the playoffs, but, you might save a guy's job, possibly, if this is the way they're playing now. And that's Vance Joseph and the Denver Broncos. They're now 5-6. They're starting to surge a little bit now. They've actually won 2 straight games. And what's most notable about these 2 wins is not they've beaten 2 playoff teams. They beat the Chargers on the road and the Steelers at home, who were red hot prior to this week. I'm not saying they'll get in the playoffs, but man, if things go their way, it wouldn't shock me.
I'll put it this way, and that's a good call out by you. It's not that the Broncos have ever been a horrible team this year. They're just overlooked because you have Mahomes going precisely 8. And the Chargers are bouncing back too. By the way, Phillip Rivers with 97 or something % accuracy yesterday? Yep. Or, excuse me, Sunday? Holy guaca-bleeping moly.
Mm-hmm.
This was why I picked that team to make it to the damn Super Bowl. Anyways, actually it was the defense, but details. The punchline is this.
That's true.
The Broncos are just victims of being in a very difficult division right now. I mean, sure, the Raiders suck, but the top 3 teams, man, that's a tough racket to have to be in the division right now with both the Chiefs and the Chargers. I mean, you have Rivers, who's arguably a Hall of Fame candidate. He's certainly in the Hall of Fame among Charger quarterbacks for certain. I think he's way better than Dan Fouts. I'm in that place where someone's going to be a scapegoat. The question you have to ask first, though, is it really Vance Joseph, or do they actually go after firing Elway himself?
They're not going to fire Elway, dude. Even if it's the right thing to do, they're not going to fire John Elway. You know that.
I don't know that I do.
This is John Elway, dude. This is John Elway. John Elway, hello?
This is a group that had no problem getting rid of Tebow.
Again, this is John
Despite
Elway.
That hype.
This is John Elway. This is not some rinky-dink quarterback. This is the guy that brought you your only, prior to Peyton Manning being there, your only Super Bowls.
I love it.
The same.
Hey, by the way, how come when Peyton Manning's numbers go down in those last year when he's 100 billion years old, people start bitching about him, but Tom Brady's numbers go down and no one says shit?
I don't know. It's just the media is all Brady loved? Because I would dare say that Peyton Manning gets more love in the media than Tom Brady does.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Don't mix.
Okay?
No. Don't mix Boston media
on your own show. On your own show years back, you had Russell Baxter on, and you were talking about. It was the only place I heard it. You and Bax were talking about how bad Brady was on the road in the playoffs and how he couldn't do anything. Listen, Manning still has choke artist attached to his name, even though he won 2 Super Bowls. I'm just saying.
Post Spygate, post Deflategate, he's gotten more hits in the media than anybody else. Of the 2, of course, of the 2 guys. Peyton Manning does get another pass to some degree. He's a likable guy. He's you know what I'm saying. He gets more passes. Tom Brady gets a little. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, people might talk about, like, analysts may prop Brady up as the GOAT, of course, like people like me, of course. But there are. I truly believe that Peyton Manning is a little more respected than Tom Brady because of the fact that, the Belichick thing and the suggested cheating.
And the cheating?
Right.
Yeah.
That's why. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not deserved either, just to the record. I'm just saying that to say that Tom Brady is a media darling, I think is asinine, in my opinion.
Well, then you just need to pay more attention. Or maybe I'm watching too much Colin Cowherd. I don't know.
No. Colin Cowherd sucks his dick.
Tom.
No, I'm serious. I mean,
right? Is that?
I mean, if you look at a specific analyst or radio personalities that talk about Tom Brady, that's one thing. But across the board, Peyton Manning gets a lot more love than Tom Brady does.
You're going to have to show me that. That's not what my experience is.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have certain personalities that zeroed on Tom Brady as the GOAT, like, Skip Bayless and the Cowards of the world and whatnot, and maybe a couple other ones. I mean, obviously Bill Simmons, but that's not even fair because Bill Simmons is a boss at home anyway.
Yeah.
So.
I mean credible analysts, not Bill Simmons.
Yeah, that's true. Back to the Broncos, though. So we 5-6, we say, oh well, it's still made the playoffs. Not so fast. That schedule at the end of the year ain't that hard. The next 5 weeks, they play in Cincy, who's falling apart. Okay, Cincy, who just signed Macho Man Tom Savage as a backup quarterback. Just for the record. Then they go to San Francisco. Then they play at home against Cleveland. That might be a tough game, but still, it's a home game. Then to Oakland. And then the Chargers week 17, when the Chargers might not even need that game by then. So we sit here and say Denver may not make the playoffs, except that schedule says otherwise. We'll see.
Well, you're assuming that Denver does everything that they're supposed to do as well.
Again,
they're
right.
strung together a few good weeks. That doesn't make them great. People wanted to tell me how terrible I was for calling Peyton Manning's O-line in Indianapolis bad, just because I'm horrible because the past few, I think 3 weeks, they haven't allowed a sack. Okay, that's impressive, and I mean against the Titans, I guess that's okay, but that doesn't make them a great protection. Give me a break.
Now, I will say this though: they'll be favored in probably all these games, all 5 games, because even the Chargers game, if they don't need that game and they're resting guys, you know what I'm saying? And Denver needs that game. Vegas is likely to favor Denver in that game by maybe 3 or 4 points. So
I'll let that slide. But with this aside, if the game were in Cleveland, I think the Browns would actually be favored.
That's true. No, I agree with that. But it's not in Cleveland. It's in Denver, and it's actually a night game. If I'm not mistaken, that might be a Monday night game. I think.
And Mile High matters, man. I really think that'll be an impact.
You saw this past week. Come on now. I mean, I don't know. Denver's not a terrible team. They're not a terrible team. I don't think they get in. I think Indy still gets in, but things can happen. We'll see what happens there. All right. Okay. Speaking of the Browns, you mentioned a while ago. What'd you make of the Baker Mayfield, Hue Jackson BS that happened after the game?
I got into it a little bit with the 3-point conversions LA brought us, man, and I got to tell you, like he was all propping up. And listen, he's a bit of a Cleveland guy. I'm not giving him a hard time for that. But what I'm saying, and first of all, no one says that he has to like Hue Jackson. But to insinuate that Hue Jackson chose this path, as his statement does, is not only asinine, it's damn near childish.
I agree.
Okay? The Duke got fired, and now he's awful because he went to get another job. Oh, little Wakey just can't handle the fact that he went to the rival. Hey, you know what? All you did was, after we spent all this time trashing Colin Coward, we might as well call one correct. You're a cocky dude with a loud mouth. You're the Phillip Rivers that I did not enjoy watching, who choked many times. So I'm just waiting for Mayfield's turn.
Again, he was fired. Okay, once you fire somebody, you lose any sort of ability to control the narrative going forward. It was like he quit on the team in Cincinnati. He got fired. Once you get fired, the conversation just fucking ends right there. That's why I don't understand why is it even an issue.
I don't either. But Baker made it one by running his mouth.
On one hand, I admire the competitiveness of Baker Mayfield being that guy. But don't act like Hue Jackson didn't believe in you. He did draft you. For the record, he did draft you.
Compete on the field, but not with a mic in your face.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm speaking as a guy who's trying to get quotables from dudes. There's a way to do it. That ain't it.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought it was a bad look in the end. I heard a couple of people defending Baker Mayfield. I'm like, what are you defending? He should wait till the year after the year's over to go. Wait. No. Once you fire somebody, you lose all right to dictate fucking narratives. Period.
If I said to, I bet if I went up to any of these people that are saying that, hey, your job just canned you, but another firm opened up so you can get money to continue to do whatever it is you want to do. And I'm not going to go the feed your family route because I know Hugh has more money than that. But, let's say you're trying to do something or build something or whatever it is with your life. He's horrible for trying to keep his life goals and his household on message, on point, on schedule.
And not only that, knowing my personality, if I was Hue Jackson, I am more likely to go to Cincinnati just to fuck you over. I'm likely to go that route and try to challenge you.
Now, that didn't go well in
No,
the past
right,
football game.
but my
And
personality won't allow that to happen.
I'll even give credit to the corner that handed him the ball that he picked off, handed Hue Jackson the ball that he picked off during the game. That's the kind of competition I'd like to see.
Right.
That's how it should be done.
By the way, I'm making a bold prediction right now. Whether it's right or wrong, I think the Bengals finally fire Marvin Lewis and they're going to hire Hue Jackson. Or they move. Oh, as my buddy Mike the Squid said earlier, they move Marvin Lewis to the front office and put Hue Jackson as head coach.
I don't agree. I think Hue is there because of a link to Marvin Lewis. I think if Marvin Lewis is fired, they're both out.
Oh, interesting. All right. Check out this take I had yesterday, too. I want to see if you agree with it now. I feel like the only team right now at the bottom of the playoff rut in the NFC that can probably give some pushback, I'm not saying beating, but give some pushback to the Rams and the Saints, might be the Seahawks.
We've been saying this for weeks. Next question.
I think even more so now. I was still on the fence with that one. But now
what, because of one game?
No, because I think watching them more the last couple weeks, and this game especially too, against a team that fighting for their playoff lives and still find a way to win, and the experience of Russell Wilson.
So,
I don't know. I feel like they give. Listen, they won't beat Rams, or they won't beat the Saints, but.
So it is off of one game, but there was something in that game that you saw that's shifting you that direction. Listen, I don't have a problem with that. It's interesting that that's what it took for you to get back on my bandwagon. But, I
also picked Carolina to win the game. That's probably why. I picked Carolina to win the game on Sunday. That's probably why.
Well, listen, Rusty still appreciates your attendance, even though you didn't properly vote for him for MVP last year. It's okay.
You're still doing that, aren't you? You're still doing that.
You're damn right I am.
I tell you what, though, he's in the MVP race now. Hot take-a-tude. He made some sick throws that game, though, to be honest with you. He made some really sick throws.
Accuracy is what he's been doing. The fact that he does it on downs other than the third down is what has made him a better player, period.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I know. So you agree? So you still agree with that? Okay, cool. So, I don't know. Both Rams games against the Seahawks were done on the wire. Maybe the Saints games is the only one I would probably say, well, you obviously need to see it. But those two Rams games showed me a lot. They could have won both those games. They're right there.
And why were they in that range? You're going to try to tell me it was because of Pete Carroll? No thanks.
All right, let's get we just every week. Let's get to our playoff picture. What is going on currently as we now enter week 13? It's getting sad now because not only is college football ending, of course, we have the NFL season coming, close to the end of the final pennant, if you will. Right now, the 1 and 2 seeds in the AFC, we can do as we do every week. The locks, who the locks are. We can always unlock if you don't feel like you like this team. So 1 and 2, of course. In the AFC, we have the Chiefs and the Patriots now, 1 and 2 seeds. The 3 seed is the Houston Texans. The 4 seed is the Pittsburgh Steelers. 5 right now currently is the LA Chargers, and probably going to stay there. And 6 currently is the Baltimore Ravens. So I think we all agree 5 locks stay 5 locks on AFC. I think you and I have the same locks on the AFC side.
Right. Yeah, the 5 spots are good. They may change seats a little bit, but those 5 spots are spoken for. And the 6th spot is going to be one hell of a race. Like I did many years ago, back when no one thought the Chargers were making, I picked the Chargers of San Diego. This year, I'm still sticking with the Chargers of Los Angeles to sneak in here. The Ravens, listen, I'm very encouraged by their future, that they're smart enough to go with Lamar Jackson. As much as I've said that Lamar Jackson was picked exactly where he needed to be for this team, as much as I've said that he is not as good a prospect as the ones who were drafted ahead of him, you got Marty Morningwig coaching him right now as the OC. Now, why is that significant, EJ Christian? This is the man that made somebody out of Michael Vick. This guy knows how to transform running quarterbacks into a phenomenon. And credit to his versatility of also coaching a Flacco at the same time to elements of success. So, Morningwig, it's going to be a good idea to develop Lamar Jackson. I think they're making the right move. Do I think they make the playoffs this year? I'm not prepared to say that.
Currently the 6th seed. I'm still sticking to Indy to make the playoffs in the 6th seed. Their schedule is fairly favorable going forward. They play the Jaguars this week, for example, with Cody Custer's quarterback, of course. So that should be a win. They go now they go to Houston. It's gonna be a big one. To Houston. I mean, maybe a Houston letdown finally that week. I don't know.
I think we're seeing in that game is a forecast of the first round of the AFC playoffs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Then to Dallas. Home against Dallas, which will be a bit of a toughie. We'll see. Then the Giants at home.
That could go either way.
Yeah, the Giants at home. That's a win. That's a win. And then close out against Tennessee on the road. That's gonna be a tough one too. I mean, Tennessee's always tough, no matter how you slice it.
He's gonna blow Tennessee up. He has yet to lose to Tennessee, and that will be another win for Luck, in my opinion.
So the Colts should go 3-2 to end this and end the year 9-7. 9-7 enough for the playoffs.
Enough to make the playoffs in the AFC, if you ask me.
Okay, let's take a little peek at the Baltimore Ravens schedule going forward, because I think I'm of the opinion right now that even though Denver is coming, I still think, gun to my head, Baltimore and Indy are the only two teams that can realistically get that playoff spot, unless something happens big time going forward. Baltimore's schedule is brutal going forward. Atlanta next week in Atlanta. That's a tough game. I don't care what anybody says. It's still a tough game. It's Atlanta's offense.
It's a tough game, but they'll still probably win it. Let's be clear.
On the road?
Yeah.
Okay. To Kansas City after that.
No, they're not going to win that game.
Okay. Tampa at home.
Yeah, they're going to win that game.
Okay. Then the Chargers on the road.
Not going out west or not. Yeah.
Right. And then finally, against the Browns, rivalry game. That can go either way, honestly.
Where is it?
It's in Baltimore, but I can see Cleveland win that game.
I could too. But actually, technically speaking, the Baltimore game, if I remember correctly, was the coming out party for Baker Mayfield. So there's that.
Yeah. I look at these schedules and I easily favor the Colts to close it out. But I will say this, though. Of the three teams we talk about here on this podcast, Denver has the easiest schedule going forward. So if these teams slip up,
but they also are the worst team talent-wise. It kind of balances out.
Right, that is true. That's true. So we'll see how. I find the AFC 6 seed wildcard race very, very fascinating moving forward. We'll see how it figures out. I select Indy, though, to close it out. So, okay. All right, NFC side. Of course, 1 and 2 seeds in order. The Saints and the Rams are the 1 and 2 seeds currently in the NFC. The 3 seed is the Bears, who, by the way, I said my lock last week. 4 seed, Dallas Cowboys. The 5 seed is the Minnesota Vikings. And the 6 seed, for now, probably, is the Washington Redskins. I got 3 locks still. I got 3 locks still. Did we lock Minnesota last week, too, also? Did we lock Minnesota?
We did. We locked Minnesota 2 weeks ago, as a matter of fact.
Okay. I'm going to continue. I'm going to have 4 locks right now. Minnesota will get in somehow, whether the wild card or but I'm convinced now the Bears will win the division now. So I'm going to give the Bears the division title now. Lock it up. Boom. And then Minnesota will get a wild card. So 4 locks. And, of course, the 1-2 seeds will get the locks. NFC East.
The NFC.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The NFC should be embarrassed that I am going to match your 4th spot. The Vikings and Bears are both going to get into the playoffs somehow.
Redskins, they can't hold on to that. Dallas Cowboys.
No way.
Dallas is likely to win the division. I'm not ready to crown them champs just yet because Philly got a win against New York this past Sunday. And if the Eagles can somehow get their shit together for a couple weeks, it would not shock me if Philadelphia steals that division when it's all said and done.
Well, true. And listen, just Carson Wentz came back from being 16 down. I mean, no offense. But
Giants, bro, come on.
But
not good.
They ended up 16 down against a bad team. To your point, if they can get that shiz together, that they're going to limp into the playoffs and be the first round sacrificial lamb.
Yeah. So I'm not going to lock Dallas. Dallas should win it, but I'm not going to lock them. I am going to favor Seattle now moving forward. Their schedule is actually cake moving forward. Have you seen their schedule moving forward?
I have not.
Ooh, let me tell you right now. Give me 1 second to bring it up. Because that is cake moving forward. And they're piling out tiebreakers too on top of that. So,
Okay.
Seattle, right now, moving forward to end the year. Come on, computer. Go a little faster. Be helpful. Thank you. To end the year. Next week, home, Niners, win.
Win.
Minnesota at home, Monday Night Football.
That's not a lock.
Not a
I'm
lock.
going to say win because I like that. You see what I did there?
Exactly.
Kirk Cousins is not going to be able to do that job.
And Kirk Cousins doesn't really. I mean, aside from this past Sunday's game, he doesn't do that well on Monday Night Football or Sunday Football, for that matter. Primetime games. So, all right. Seattle at home, going to the Niners. Win. Kansas City at home. They may not need that game by the time it's said and done. Possibly. We'll see.
Crushed.
Seattle wins that game?
No. KC crushes them.
In Seattle?
Crushed. Yes.
Okay.
They just don't have enough firepower.
Okay. And then the Cardinals at home.
Oh, God. Win all day. So we just handed. Did we hand 4 wins to them right there?
We handed 3 wins, possible 4.
What was
Minnesota at home.
Which means they have to beat Minnesota. Oh, wait, yeah, I said they beat Minnesota.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's 4 wins I gave them.
That's 10-6.
That's a playoff spot.
Yep. So,
I'm not prepared to lock them. If they fulfill, I'll put it this way. If they beat the Vikings in 2 weeks, I'm going to join the lock party with you for the Seahawks.
Right. Meanwhile, Carolina, who's in the mix also too, has Tampa this week on the road. That's a tough game for them. Tampa's always weird at home against them. They go to Cleveland again. That's a tough game too for them. Dude, Carolina's in trouble.
Yeah. No question.
Their weakest game here is Atlanta, and even that's not a lock.
Other than the AFC and NFC East, the physics of divisional matchups in the NFC South are just baffling. Among the most baffling I've seen.
Carolina really fucked themselves last couple of weeks by losing streak because
that's one way to put it.
Because they didn't beat Detroit, Pittsburgh. Look, I get that one, so we'll wash that away. But not being Seattle this week at home. Now we got to play Tampa on the road, which is always a toughie. That's a must win, obviously. Every game's a must win, obviously, going forward. But Tampa's is a toughie on the road. Cleveland's gonna be a toughie on the road as well too. Then you play New Orleans at home. Okay, then you play Atlanta at home. Which Atlanta, while that should be a win, the divisional game's always weird. And then you play at New Orleans end of the year. Now, to be fair to New Orleans, they may not need that game in week 17. They may actually need that game in week 17 because I don't see the Rams losing a lot of games going forward.
Yeah, I think that seeding is going to be an excellent back and forth.
So Carolina fucked themselves.
Yeah. Next question.
Yep. So that being said, we are going to keep I have 4 locks in the NFC. Minnesota is a lock somehow. Chicago's a lock for the division. I
didn't say division. You did.
Oh, you did Minnesota can catch up?
I think. I think it's possible. I just don't trust Mitchell Trubisky. That defense is great, but and again, hey, if they win the division, Matt Nagy is a lock for Coach of the Year. I'll put it that way.
Okay. All right. So that's this week's playoff conversation, of course. All right. Before I let you go, conversation. Well, first, let me ask you a question. How shocked were you by the Ohio State Michigan result? Because I wasn't shocked. In fact, I had a bad feeling all week that Michigan would lose this game.
The shocking part was the gap in the score rather than the victory itself.
I was speculating on my other podcast this weekend about the idea that Harbaugh, and to the credit of the media, no one has discussed that yet. Harbaugh maybe leaving Michigan, which no one's discussed that at all, which is good. I think he'll stay also too.
I saw plenty of media members speculating about that on Twitter. Oh gosh.
Okay, it's on Twitter.
On Staley, Twitter. Brandon Howard, just to name a couple.
Okay, well, and I was thinking too, like, if Harbaugh really does decide to want to leave or have the urge to leave Michigan, which By the way, would be fucked up because Michigan.
Wait a minute. You're talking about him voluntarily leaving. Well, no, they're talking about him getting fired by the Michigan Fire.
Nah, they won't fire him. I am fully confident they won't fire him.
I'm with you, but I'm not prepared to rule it out if the boosters complain enough.
No, I'm 98% sure he won't get fired. Let's put it that way. That's not confident about that. He had a really good year this year. 10 wins. He won 10 games this year.
Listen, you're talking to the wrong guy.
Who the fuck you getting? Because they've beaten Ohio State once in 15 years. Harbaugh's been in 4 years of that. So this is not a new problem, not being Ohio State. This is now 15 years running. I mean, no offense to the fucking idiots at boosters at Michigan. Okay, no, I mean to offend you guys because you're idiots.
Wow.
That said,
Love Brady, hates Michigan. Figure that out.
That being said, if I'm Jim Harbaugh, not that I'm going to leave, but I'm kind of intrigued by the possibilities of jobs opening in the NFL again. Green Bay's job, Aaron Rodgers, maybe.
Ooh.
Dolphins, Miami, connection with the owner. He was rumored to go there before, years ago. You know, good weather, of course. Tampa, very talented team.
I think Tampa's more likely.
Tampa's very likely. I mean, because of the talent. And I mean, Winston, maybe. I don't know if he's still there. I would have said not Baltimore. You fired his brother and then hires his brother. No, fuck that. No. So no, not Baltimore necessarily. The Jets and Sam Darnold. Cleveland and Baker Mayfield. There is a lot of intriguing job opportunities, possible opportunities in the NFL if Harbaugh chose to leave Michigan or get fired.
I'm not going to argue with that.
Just saying. So I won't rule it out. I think I am 95% sure he'll return to Michigan next year, and no one really get fired. So, all right. Tonight we'll find out the rankings again. My rankings currently is Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame 3, and I threw Georgia at 4 this week instead of Oklahoma.
Anyone but Oklahoma. That's all I'm hoping for.
Oh wow, interesting. Oh, interesting.
I can't stand a team that plays defense that badly on a regular basis.
It's a Big 12 problem too, though. Not that it's a Big 12 problem.
Agreed. Moving on.
Yeah. I don't know. Your prediction for the weekend? Do you see any chaos? Or because the only chaos at this point really is if Georgia loses or Clemson loses.
Well, the chaos I do see, air quotes chaos, is Notre Dame does the unprecedented, making the top 4 as an independent.
They're gonna. I think that's just media talk for clicks. They're not gonna. They're gonna get in. They're gonna get in.
Yes.
They're going to get in. I mean, I know a lot of people say put out articles. I know 247, whatever the name of the media is, 247.
247 Sports, yeah.
Yeah, put out a thing this weekend saying.
Guys that cover UCF that I know there.
Yeah, no. That's for clicks. That's for debate. That's for opinions. No. Notre Dame's getting in. I am 100% sure they're getting in. Trust me on that. Okay, they're getting in. Alabama's getting in regardless of what happens in their game against Georgia. Even if they lose, they're getting in. Unless Tua gets hurt. It's the only scenario I can see them getting in is Tua gets hurt.
Yeah, well, let's not bring up hurt quarterbacks, please. Thank you.
Clemson, they do their job, they're in. They don't, they may be out. So the chaos may come in the form of Georgia winning against Alabama, if that happens, which I doubt happens.
Yeah, Clemson. Listen, Clemson's the only real disaster I see that can move anything. And since I do cover UCF, what I will say is all these people in their experience in the conference championship against Memphis. Josh Heupel is a great coach. So too is Mike Norvell. And all it's going to be is a run. It's a run versus run offense, and it's going to be which defense actually performs. And if you've watched UCF's defense the past 3 or 4 weeks, they're going to make the game competitive. And we'll see. I think it's going to be close. I don't know that it's going to be 31-30 close like it was at Memphis's house when they played earlier this season. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, you really can't predict this game in this particular fashion with these teams having played each other 4 times in 2 years. But with Darryl Mack Jr. coming in and in the backfield for UCF to replace the injured the tragic story, I'm just going to call it.
Very tragic.
But that's still going to be a game. But even if UCF wins that by 30 points, there's no way the committee will let in a UCF team without Mackenzie Milton at the helm in the top four. It's just not going to happen. I'd be shocked if they got ranked higher than 7.
That being said, when we come back next Monday to do this podcast, or Tuesday, whenever day we do it, what will be the final four, in your opinion?
I'm gonna go 30-24.
No. The final four, the committee. What are they gonna do?
Oh, the final four. You're going to have Alabama still in there, no question. Clemson's going to do their job. They'll be number 2. You will still have Notre Dame at number 3. I think 1, 2, 3 are still consistent. 4 is the mystery. As much as I'd love to see Georgia in place there, I think despite my disdain for the lack of defense that is Oklahoma, you're going to have them there at the number 4 spot.
The only reason I want Oklahoma, 2 reasons I want Oklahoma in there. First, I hate Ohio State to death. Okay, so fuck them. Number 2,
Ohio State is not going to get in the top 4.
They will. They could if Oklahoma loses.
Even still, I don't see it. Not ahead of Georgia.
No. Wait. You're saying if Georgia loses, no. Wait. No. If Georgia, no. If Georgia wins, one thing. If Georgia loses, they're out. They're done.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's probably true. Yeah.
Yeah. 1, I hate Ohio State. 2, I would love to see Alabama against Oklahoma. I would love to see that match.
That I would not. I would have rather seen Michigan, Alabama personally. But the game I want to see.
What's that?
Is Clemson, Oklahoma. 2 truly untested teams battling each other.
Yeah. Comes on the radar.
Yes, I said true. By the way, I said truly untested because the Big 12 is a joke and the ACC is too.
Absolutely. I think you can argue right this year the ACC is the worst of the 5.
Absolutely. I don't think that's close. And I don't care where they've been ranked. They've been ranked there improperly. You try to tell me that a team that damn near lost to Temple is gonna be, somebody who's competitive. Well, guess what? You told me that with Boston College. Notre Dame put Syracuse aside. Thank you very much for that. Okay.
Oh,
but Cal, UCF gave up 1,300 yards to Temple. Yeah, they won the game by 11. Okay. Temple needed a break, Boston College needed a break to beat Temple by 3. I'm just saying.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, when Boston College is the second best team in the conference this year, that's a problem.
Well, no. In the conference, it's Pitt.
Oh, well, by who had a better record between 2 teams?
Okay, fair enough.
No, I'm not sure. I'm curious. I don't know. I'm asking you.
I don't know. I don't know who has the better record. I just know who I've seen play, and Pitt looks like a better team than BC.
But and the fact that we're arguing about Pitt and Boston College and not Miami or Florida State or Louisville or Virginia Tech is an issue. That's my point.
That's very well stated, sir.
Exactly. Anyway, Kyle, as always, plug away.
Hey, man, this was a tight show, though, man. Let's not play around. I had a great time here all the way around.
Yeah.
And, hey, what can I say, man? They gave me just as much to eat as I had at Thanksgiving. I'm just telling you. Speaking of eating, the Dinner Time podcast is going to be back. We've gotten past all our technical issues, and we're finding our way to bring the show to you in the next couple of weeks here, so look out for that.
So
me and Tokyo James are doing wonderful things.
It is off Blog Talk officially, because I've noticed there's been no shows for a month.
Right, basically because Blog Talk sucks, but let's not spend too much time talking about that.
Thank you.
Then the Default Assault podcast is doing its thing as well. Check that out coming up here during the coming week. Of course, check out my stuff on sportsmediapass.com, the company of Blue HQ Media. I'm covering the American Athletic Conference at UCF. I will be at in the press box the UCF Memphis Conference Championship game. And then check out my work on Dolphins Wire covering the Miami Dolphins. They're going to hold on to hope and try to sneak into the playoffs. I don't think it's going to happen because their injury report is just entirely too long. But that's a whole other topic. Ernest Christian, honor, joy, privilege, class dismissed.
Thank you.